Hello, women of the channel. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. This week, I have the pleasure of getting to know Christie Barber, Senior Director, North America Channel Sales with Dell Technologies. Hi, Christy. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, Jackie. So great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, well, I'm really excited. So let's dive into those icebreaker questions. Where do you live, and where did you grow up with that?
I live in Georgetown, Texas, which is just right outside of Austin. And I am born and raised Austin girl. So have been here my whole life except for college at Texas A&M. I'm a fighting Texas Aggie and very proud of that. So yeah, good times in Austin.
I love that. Is it cold or warm or in between?
It's a cold front came, so it's a little cool
Yeah.
here now, but normally quite hot.
Yeah, that's what we're experiencing too in Georgia. All right. What is a little known or perhaps fun fact that you're willing to share with all of us?
Well, as a Texan, this is very important to us in Texas, but my many times great grandfather manned the cannon at the Alamo. And so if you go to the Alamo, his name is there, and just really great to have such great Texas history in our family, and very proud of that.
That is a very cool fun fact. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that.
yeah, I love that one.
All right. Well, how about you share a little bit about your career path and how you reached this amazing position with Dell?
Well, I have enjoyed 26 amazing years at Dell. So it has
Mhm.
been a really long and wonderful ride at Dell, and I've loved every minute of it. I think that Dell continues to change and evolve and grow, and there's so many opportunities here. So I started as an inside sales rep in our global sales division, did that for a few years, and then I was an account executive. And then they were like, "Hey, you need to move to New York or, some big city, major market." And I was dating my now husband, then boyfriend, who owns a business in Austin. I didn't want to leave. So I
Mm,
took a job, and I tell this story sometimes when I am mentoring folks because I took probably the least sexy account executive job that ever existed at Dell. And that is, I led our employee purchase program, affiliates, and after point of sale. I was the only person that did that for all of North America. But while it was the least sexy AE job probably ever at Dell, I met with every leader in the company, traveled with a
mhm,
bunch of other AEs. I got to see a lot of great styles, what I liked, what I didn't like, and a lot of great networking. So it was one of the best jobs just from a networking perspective and a growth perspective for me. And then from there, I went back to being an account executive. And then I had my first opportunity for leadership, and it was in the data center group. And if you know anything about account executives, most of them are generalists, not necessarily uber technical, know enough to
mhm.
be dangerous kind of person. And I thought that they were crazy for wanting me to go lead a technical team on our data center side of the house. And they were like, "Look, we don't need you to teach them to be technical. We need you to teach them strategy." So I went, that was my first leadership job, and I learned a ton. And I think I taught them some things as well. So it was just a great collaborative effort between the team and myself. I've had different roles in the leadership within our data center team. I led our North America enterprise technology group. And that gave me some global capabilities, which was wonderful. I had a team in Panama and other areas. And then I went to the channel about 2 years ago. Um, and so I was a little unsure about that move because I'd been in sort of the core sales angle the whole time, but it has been fantastic. And getting to know our partners, their executives, their teams, everyone involved in our partner community has been just a real highlight of my career. And really, you think you know a lot about the channel until you're in the channel. And then you're like, okay, there's really a whole lot that I didn't know. But it's been an amazing experience, and I've loved it so far. And I'm looking forward to many more years in the channel.
I love that. I never tire of hearing about people's career paths because it's never what we make the assumption of.
Hmm.
And it's very evident that you have a passion for what you do. And I love that you even twisted in there, like, even the, I'll use your words, non sexy role ended up being a role with a lot of impact to your career
Hmm.
trajectory. So,
Absolutely.
what is a decision you perhaps wish you didn't make?
So I mentioned you know, the leadership role, the first leadership role that
Mhm.
I had aspirations for leadership way before that, but I sort of put that on the back burner because I was having babies, raising little kids, and I didn't want to disrupt the flow that I had. I felt like I could
Mm.
manage my calendar very well and control a lot of things that I thought if I was a leader I couldn't do. And once I became a leader, I was like, I could have done all of this, at the same time. So I would just tell people don't delay your career development because you can do more in a bigger role and still have the balance in your life that, you know, feel like you have today. So don't delay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great advice. I kinda laughed a little when you said because you thought you had control, which I'm guessing you now know that or can admit that control is relative. We
True.
we try.
We
Um,
try. And
yeah,
there's no
we try.
balance, there's no control, there's none of that, right? It
Yeah,
just you just have to make the best of it, and sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down.
love it. That is amazing advice. So, how do you differentiate yourself?
I really like to think the culture that I build with the
Mhm.
teams that I work not only the teams I work with, but the extended teams that are touching my team or my business, that culture of grit and fight and passion and all of those things really help differentiate us. And I'm a big sports fan. And I love the analogy like teamwork makes the dream work because I think that it is so true. So the more people you have selling for you, the more better your outcome is going to be. And so bringing everybody in, whether it's just strictly guidance, sales assistance, whatever that looks like, but also just making sure that the teams really know that I care about them because I do. And I think that's really important because people will fight for a leader that they know believes in them and is going to fight for them too.
I could not agree with you more. Um, that I love those things, and it's very evident in your responses on, how you differentiate yourself and what's important to you. I love that. We have just a few moments left, so I'm gonna try and squeeze in another question,
Okay.
and that is, how do you continue to grow and develop as a leader?
I am very hungry to get better at all times,
I love that.
always. Um, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's the most basic aspects of leadership or the more aspirational, executive CTO type or CXO level type of skill sets. And so I feel like what I'm always observing, whether I'm, with our leaders at Dell, we have so many amazing leaders at Dell, or just out in the industry with some of our partner executives, just constantly looking at what are they doing? How are they doing it? How do I compare to that? What could I do? How can I do better on my side? And I wish I read more books. I don't read as many books as I would like to, but I think a lot of it is just observing and just being very present in the moment when there's so many little things that you can pick up.
I love that. That is great advice. I also love that you put it out there that, hey, I don't get to read as much, and that there are other ways to grow and develop as a leader than reading books. Like it's not cookie cutter for everybody and how they do their own personal growth and development. So thank you for giving us some additional insights.
Yeah. The real
Christy,
world is always the best.
yes, yes, 100%.
Mhm.
Christy, it was an absolute joy getting to know you, and I am so thrilled that we are celebrating you as our Woman of the Week.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. Love Women of the Channel and just appreciate being here.
Absolutely. All right. Please comment below, share your insights, and do give Christy high fives as our Woman of the Week this week. Until next time, have an amazing week.